at Shawnee Mission Park and I'm going to get a long ride in. I'm gonna try to do like 10 laps around, which is gonna be around 45 to 50 miles of hills, and then just a quick turnaround for my brick. So my running shoes are here. I've got tons of snacks. I think I'm ready to go. So let's see. It's supposed to, we're in a heat wave, so we're gonna be above, I think, 97 degrees for the next 6 to 7 days. And I'm out here and it's 7 a.m. and I'm hoping to get this done by like 10:30 so I can be home and enjoy the 4th of July. I've got lots of stuff planned for us, but I really need to get this in just for training purposes. Love Ironman and I hate Ironman all at the same time. It's really hot. Time to run. Gotta get my shoe on. Let's do this 45-mile bike ride. I'm drenched. I gotta get this in. Race week is this week. Let's do this then. So I just got off work, picked up the kids from swim team practice, and it's going on like 9:45 right now. So it's supposed to be a heat index around 108 today. I think it's already like 88 or something, which I need to turn off the sprinklers. So it's gonna be really, really hot today, and I have both the kids, and I need to get in like an 11 or 12 mile run, just depending upon how I feel. I have a race on Sunday, the Shawnee Mission Park Triathlon, so I don't want to push anything. Like if I'm just struggling to get to 11, I'm not going to 12. If I feel really good, I'll go to 12. I have the time allocated that I can do either or. So I'm hoping I can get an 11 or 12, and it's gonna be right over there on that pretty little thing. So right on my treadmill. Like I said, I haven't gotten in a lot of long runs. I feel like it doesn't matter how well prepared you are, no matter, by the time you get to the run, you're just dead anyways. I mean, not dead, but I mean, you're depleted, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're sore. So I feel like I really do need to work on my running, but running has been the thing that I've really sustained throughout the last few years with like COVID and moving and the divorce and everything. So I feel like I've got a strong kind of foundation for that. So I feel like I could spend the least amount of time. So I really need to focus on my running and my biking, which I have been this summer. So with all that said, well, let's get this run started and let's get this long indoor run on the treadmill. I've done longer, so that's what I always tell myself, because I'm like, this is gonna be like 2-hour run inside. But I do have nutrition, I have my water, I don't know what this is, I found it on the floor. And then I have just my Apple tablet, and I just watch whatever I can find. I've been into watching like old Olympic gymnastics, so let's see what this day brings. Alright, halfway, watching gymnastics. It's always good for a triathlete. To watch gymnastics. An hour and 2 minutes in, over 6 miles. Please takes forever. Alright, I gotta finish this thing. Yep, that's my run. Alright, run is done. I got 11 miles in, not 12. I was just running out of time because I knew I had to like go grocery shopping, and then my dog had a visit at the vet to get her shots and see her family vet, which we got to see in the new clinic that they've just opened up. Since there's been COVID, we haven't been able to go into the facility, so this was the first time we really got to go in the facility and see the vets and the staff. So it was really nice to just kind of run, get that out of the way, and then have like the rest of the day to go take my dog and get her taken care of, get groceries. And I mowed the grass, cleaned out the garage. I got my trees ready because I'm getting 4 of them cut down. They're walnut trees and they're massive. And so this is like my 5 to 10 year plan of putting a pool in my backyard. So I have to do it in stages. So cut down some trees, save like 8 more times, and then maybe I can put a pool in. But I'll show you guys. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can, but I put caution tape around some of them, so I'll kind of point with my little finger if I can. So there's like these 4 trees are gonna go. Is that 4? No, I'm sorry. These 3. The one in the very back is my neighbor's, and then this one right here in the center of the yard, and then I'll still have 2 off to the far corner, but we're gonna get rid of those trees. When does school start? My kids are driving me nuts. I love them to death, but man, it's been rough. They have a cheerleading camp and a soccer camp coming up, and boy, do they need it. Swim team's been great, but it only lasts so much every morning, and you know, weekends there's only 1 meet, so they need activities. But run went really well. I felt really good. I felt really strong. Like you guys kind of saw, I watched gymnastics as I did that. So now I've just kind of cleaned up, did some things around the house that I wanted to get done. I actually had quite a bit of energy, so that felt good. I got to get some stuff done. Coco's over there laying in the sun. I think she's kind of just tired from her vet visit. So I've been keeping an eye on her. But I have this watermelon. We got sushi from Sam's Club when we got groceries. And then I have this huge veggie tray from the 4th of July party that we had. And then, so while I was out mowing the grass, I got 19 mosquito bites. So I have like a garden out there. I'm sure you guys can kind of see it like out there. And yeah, I got 19 mosquito bites. I went out there to kind of clean it up because that's where the guys are going to be when they cut the trees down. And I thought, well, I'll just kind of clean it up while I'm here. I think literally stepping into that garden and pulling probably 10 minutes on just some weeds, and I sprayed kind of some overkill that was going into the grass and kind of cleaned it up. I have 19 mosquito bites. 1 on my arm and the other 18 are on my legs. It's insane. I don't even think you guys can see it, but I have so much like glitter on my legs because I use nail polish. So I called my parents because I have not gotten that many mosquitoes since I think I was like 9. Hush. And we went to South Padre Island and walked on the beach. And I got eaten alive. I think I got like 22 that year. So my parents were awesome, and they went and got me like cortisone, afterbite, and then a itch spray. So this is gonna be my evening. So I'm gonna sit down, eat some dinner, kind of tend to my itches, and just kind of finish cleaning up around the house and relax. Does that look good?
That'll help me with my throat.
Yeah, that'll help. Wow. Alright guys. Turn that down. So trees are still being cut down. Had my dad come over because my daughter is sick. She is not feeling well. I don't know if she's got the flu or what is going on, but she's got a fever and doesn't feel well, so I didn't want to wake her in her slumber, and I need to go get my packet, and I probably should go this way. So like I said, still getting the trees cut down, so I needed somebody to kind of like stay here and make sure everything's okay and they don't need anything, and then obviously make sure that Summer's okay. But yeah, the packet pickup is at one of the bike shops that's nearby here. Probably take me about 10-15 minutes to get there. I'll get my packet and then I'll head home, and I'll show you guys what's in my packet. Usually packet pickup is nothing special, so we'll take you guys over there. making breakfast for Summer and Max and I. Summer is still sleeping, like you said, or like I had told you guys, she's kind of under the weather. And Max is just up with me. He said he is so excited today, and I'm like, what for? Like packing for the triathlon? And he said, no, I'm so excited to see them like finish off the trees. So you guys can kind of see, I showed you. You can kind of see 3 of my trees. The farthest back is my neighbor's, but I've got some logs and some of their equipment still out there. They are going to be coming back this morning to basically get the trunks, if you will, and there's the tops of one other tree that they still have to get. So it was 2 guys cutting down 4 massive trees yesterday, and they worked their butts off for like 10.5 hours. So they ended up leaving last night around 7, and then I don't know what time they're coming back, but they're coming back today. So we are just going to eat breakfast. I just made my list that tells me that I need to pack my triathlon bags. My dad mechanically went over my bike, so I need to go and just kind of run through that. He looked at the cleats at the bottom of my shoes because I was having a hard time clicking out of my right shoe. So I have to try that and make sure everything's ready to go. And then everything today is just kind of big prep for tomorrow. We had a cold front come through, which is great. And it should be cooler tomorrow. I heard it should be like in the high to mid 60s tomorrow while we swim. Wow, we haven't had that since I think early May. I mean really early May, because we got pretty hot in May, so I'm excited for that. But other than that, I'm just crossing my fingers. I'll probably be making this video and editing it and finding out, but hopefully I do not get sick. I have been fighting a sinus infection for a month. I got a cold before I went to Colorado, and I think I got some sort of bacteria up in my nose from swimming in the water. And I've been fighting it with antibiotic after antibiotic and steroids. So my hope is that I don't get sick, because I'm still kind of stuffed up, but now I feel like I'm getting more stuffed up, maybe because I caught what my daughter has now. Oh, I'm so nervous now. So hopefully I don't catch anything or get sick. And I have a great race for tomorrow, so I'm gonna eat some breakfast. I'm gonna go downstairs and train just for a little bit, about 30-minute bike, 30-minute run. Just gonna keep the legs loose. I didn't get anything in yesterday. I got off work, I had to do packet pickup, and then I was here for like the tree guys all day. I didn't want to leave. I always want to be available for them. And I could have gone down in the basement, but I was planning on swimming, but they left so late that I just couldn't get my swim in. So let's go enjoy our Saturday.
swim. Go Bob! Looking good. Go! Go Bob! Go Bob! That a girl, Bob! Good girl! Looking good, Baba, let's go!
Alright guys, so I am back from the Shawnee Mission Park Triathlon. It's been about 5 days since the triathlon, and I just wanted to share with you guys about how it went. So you guys saw a little bit of footage that I was able to get. Actually, my dad is the photographer, videographer, coach, motivational, all the above. So he was there to help me through my triathlon, not only to grab my equipment, but to be there again to capture kind of the moment. And then also my coach, he is definitely cheering, yelling, and giving me support along the course. So, because Summer and Max were sick, I was so worried that I was going to get sick because both of them had fevers and were not feeling well, and they were sick for quite some time. Knock on wood, still to this point, I have had no symptoms whatsoever. So whatever they had, I must have already had it, or it was just something that I did not catch. So I was very, very thankful that the race was on a Sunday morning. We have been in record heat. We have been 90 to 100 degrees pretty much the entire summer. Went down to Shawnee Mission Park. It's only about 20 minutes from my house. Went down to transition, parked, went down to transition. I went down to transition as I normally do, set up my gear. I noticed this year, I started to get nervous pretty quickly because this was the first year post-COVID, 2020, COVID. In 2022, this was the year that people were like, I don't care, I'm moving on with my life, I'm gonna keep going with triathlons. And there was a lot of people. And if you do triathlons or any sort of sport endurance, you can pretty much size up your competition when you walk in. And the rack was full, so I knew that as I was putting my bike on the rack, I knew that there was a lot of people there. I saw quite a few females that were in my age group, and or again, I try to always place top 3 overall. I knew that I was gonna have a lot of competition. I noticed a license plate in the transition area that people were coming from all over the country. But again, I just proceeded to listen to my music, talk to my dad, set my equipment up, and walk down to the entrance of the water. And I put my goggles on. I lost my goggles the night before, so I had to use goggles that I wasn't so confident in. So they ended up working perfectly. There was no issues whatsoever. Blue 70, thank you so much. I'm not sponsored by them, but thank you so much. Yet. Not sponsored yet. Thank you so much for providing incredible goggles. They worked great. No problems whatsoever, but we'll talk about that in just a second. But no leaking. So you have to swim to your transition side, or I'm sorry, you have to swim over to the beach to get to the starting point of the swim for Shawnee Mission Park. It's a 1,500 meter swim. So I swam over there, again, super nervous, saw my competition. I knew it was gonna be quite a difficult race for me. As I got over to my competition, as I got over to the beach, again, I noticed that I had quite a bit of competition. There was quite a few more men in the Olympic distance triathlon. So Olympic distance triathlon is 1,500 meters for a swim. It is a 28 mile bike ride and a 6.2 mile run. They had multiple other distances. They had a long course, a short course, a sprint, and a super sprint. This was also the United States Triathlon Championships. So again, a lot of competition, and I was super nervous. I didn't know that prior, and I was already really, really nervous, but I was just like, you know what? You've trained as hard as you can. You've worked as hard as you possibly can. This is your course. That's what my dad always tells me. This is your course. I'm out here every week busting my high knee and riding these hills and working hard. And I come out here year after year after year after year doing all this climbing and training and riding and running. And I knew I had done everything I possibly could to prepare. So the race started with the men, and the women followed behind. I was in the first heat. I caught up to the men pretty quickly. And again, everybody has their weakness usually is swimming, so that was not a surprise in me to catch up to the men pretty quickly. I believe I had 2 to 4 women somewhat near me or ahead of me, so I knew I needed to increase kind of the gain that they were getting on me. I needed to get closer to them, so I swam pretty hard. My biggest thing I focused on this time was to make sure that I was swimming straight. I tend to swim to my right because I only breathe to my right when I swim. It's just something I've done ever since I was a young girl in competitive swimming. So I knew that that was something that I needed to do, was to focus on going straight, because I spent a lot of time going left, going right, and getting myself back on course. I did a good job. I was really proud of myself. I kept on course. I kept straight. There's a few times I went, aside, because you can't see your hand up in front of you at Shawnee Mission Park. This is not a lake in the northeast. This is not a lake in the north. This is not a lake in the west. I can't see anything in front of me. It is literally blinding. It's like me being inside of a house fire is another relation I can give it to you. I can't see anything inside of my goggles, my mask. I can see my hand about this far in front of me, and that's it. I'll see somebody's toe, and the next time I pull, I'm on top of them. So you can't see anything in the water. So it makes it very difficult, and it can be frightening, especially for somebody that's not a confident swimmer. Luckily, I'm one of the more confident swimmers, so that was something that I knew that this was my strength, and that I needed to gain on these women in the sport that my strength is. I finished the swim in about 29 minutes. Everything went really well until I hit the buoy, which is the turnaround. The turnaround faces you east into the sun. Going into the sun, I literally could not see anything. I felt like Ray Charles. I was blind. I couldn't see a thing. I could barely bring up my eyes up out of like the surface of the water, and I could just peek out of the corner of my eye and see a buoy, because if I brought both eyes out, it was too high and the sun would just completely block my face. So it was very, very difficult. It was one of the more difficult ones. There was no cloud cover, no overcast. We started a little bit earlier than previous years. We started at 6:30 in the morning. So the sun was just at like eye level, and it made it super difficult for spotting. I knew I was passing some of the men because they were in the green cap. I knew I had not passed any women, and if they were ahead of me, they were in the pink cap, and I knew I could see one pink cap ahead of me. Again, I couldn't see much. I could just barely see it. So I knew, again, I had to like really push hard. Got out 29 minutes. It was 1 minute faster than I went in the prior year of 2021, and one of the faster swims I've ever had, which I was very surprised because I've only swam 4 times. Yes, 4 times. 4 times this year. I'm not proud of it. I'm embarrassed, but it is what it is, and it's the training that I can get in. So I exited the water. There were helpers there to grab us. I heard "Go Bubba," so I knew my dad was there. Ran up the hills, uphill into transition. I transitioned, not my best. I think it took just over 2 minutes to transition into my biking equipment. I know I have more biking equipment than I do for my running equipment, so that's my slower transition that I have. I got straight on my bike and proceeded up the hill. Again, Olympic distance is the longest distance of the race here at Shawnee Mission Park. So everybody does a certain number of loops. So it's 1, 2, 4, or 6. I have 6 loops, which equals 28 miles at Shawnee Mission Park. So I proceeded with 6 loops. It's extremely hilly. I know it like the back of my hand. I've done it many, many times. I've done up to 17 laps in this course. So 6 to me was like a walk in the park. I was pushing very, very hard though. I knew I had at least one woman ahead of me. No one else had passed me. I had only passed other women, so my confidence was gaining. I was like, okay, nobody's passed me. I'm doing really well. I've got to be seated like 1, 2, or 3. I've got to be somewhere around there. Maybe 4 or 5 if I'm totally off base. So I just kept pushing. I felt great. My quads were getting sore around lap 5 or 6. But again, I just kept pushing. I had no mechanical problems whatsoever on the bike. It was a success. I just felt really, really good on my bike. I got off my bike. It was 2 minutes faster than last year. Again, I don't know this stuff until now. It was, I can't remember, like an hour and 29 minutes, I believe. Don't quote me on that. You can look me up. My number was 643, I believe. I believe it was an hour and 29 minutes for the bike. So I got off, I transitioned super quick. I have the New Balance 1080 V11s, so last year's New Balance 1080s, and there are 2 where I can just slip them on. I transitioned in 1 minute and 2 seconds, so I was incredibly fast in transition, and I got straight onto the run course. As soon as I got on the run course, I noticed a female pass me, and she had a pretty good pace. I got nervous, and I thought, oh no, she's gonna pass me. And like I said, I knew I had like 1 or 2 people ahead of me. I was like, if she's number 3, I'm off the podium. Like, that's all I could think of. I'm off the podium now. So they call this the dam hill. So going up the dam is it's very, very steep hill. It reminds me of Madison, Wisconsin Ironman. As you're going up the hill on the University of Wisconsin Hill, I think it's by the Science Building. It's an extremely steep hill and it's long. The hill by the dam at Shawnee Mission Park is extremely steep but not as long. Again, I climb this all the time on my bike. I run this hill. I knew in my mind, I said, if you give up and you walk any of this course, you will for sure be off the podium. Give everything you got. So we ran across the lake. She was still ahead of me. I was still keeping a good pace. I felt good. I knew I needed to get some nutrition in, so I took some applesauce in. I had taken nutrition previously on the bike as well. And once we had hit the hill, I knew that was my time to like mentally get her. So as I went up the hill, we just kind of passed each other and I proceeded past her. And we were both huffing and puffing, and I knew if I passed her mentally, I could beat her. And I am guilty of it too. If somebody passes me on something like that, it just mentally kills you. So I worked really hard, got up the hill, kept going. I was breathing so hard. You kind of go around a loop to a water station, and then you go down into the trail pass. I never saw her again, except on a turnaround around like mile 5. So it was a 6.2 mile course. I felt extremely well. The first mile or 2, I felt like I was still kind of getting my pace, getting my cadence. And I knew I passed her. I didn't hear her like behind me. You can kind of like hear somebody's footstep, and I knew that that pattern or that breathing was not behind me. So I knew I'd passed her just enough. I just kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. I wanted to let go. I wanted to give up, or not give up, but you know, I wanted to decrease my pace. I wanted to decrease my cadence. I wanted to slow it down. But I knew she was close to me. And we later talked, and we're friends, and we've competed before, but I knew I couldn't give up because she's a strong competitor. And so I kept running. It was a just kind of up and down, fairly flat course. There was a steep hill. The last mile, there was quite a few steep hills. Kind of like the first mile's got some steep hills, the last mile's got some steep hills, and the 4 miles in between is fairly flat. That last mile, I was huffing and puffing to the point that I was like, I'm starting to wheeze. This is not good. But I proceeded up the hill, which is up towards the finish line. She had never passed me. I did not pass any females. So I knew whatever place I was, I gave it my all. I crossed the finish line, and I felt like I gave it my all, and I did. And I ended up getting 3rd place overall. The woman that I was competing against the whole time on the run, was 4th place, just a few minutes behind me. And I'm so glad I never gave up. I'm so glad I never stopped pushing. Just stopped getting in your mind. I think you all have been through that. If you've been in endurance exercise, you just kind of get inside of your mind and you're just like, oh, I can slow it down, I'll feel more comfortable. I knew I had to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. That's what I kind of remind myself is, don't you dare give up. My dad always says, push hard, keep going. I don't want anything left in the tank when you get here. And I didn't have anything left in the tank. I was tired. When I crossed the finish line, I like leaned over my legs for a few seconds and I was like, whoo, it's getting fuzzy. I knew I had to keep moving. Like I know physiology, what is going on, but I just know that I needed to keep moving. And I was tired, I was breathing heavy, and I knew I gave it my all. So the course was incredible. Just the logistics of the course was great. I had a fun time. Weather was great. Dad was there to support me. All in all, for some reason, I keep placing third. All last year, I was on the podium third, bronze place, third, Beth, third, Fox, third. That's just my spot now, I guess. I really wanted to get something better than third. But like I said, I knew I gave it my absolute all. I knew I did the best that I possibly could. And I'm very proud of the third place that I got. Because like I said, I improved my swim, I improved my bike, and I improved my run by like almost 5 minutes. So I mean, that's incredible from last year, because I feel like I really pushed it last year. So to see that I improved it by almost 4.5, 5 minutes, I'm just proud of myself. So overall, a successful race. I didn't get injured. I pushed hard. Dad was there to support me. I can't ask for anything more. So the next race that I have, guys, is Ironman Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin, nearby the University of Wisconsin. I am nervous. I am getting there. I am training hard, and I'm going to take you guys along the way with me. I am trying to get videos up to you every week or two. I'm trying to bring you more content, trying to get you time off my bike, time when I'm running, time to tell you how I'm feeling. So you come along with me and we will go to Ironman Wisconsin and we will prove everybody wrong that we can do this and nothing is impossible and we can do anything that we put our minds to. So I am going to sign off here and I will see you guys next week. I'm going to get this video uploaded for you as quickly as I possibly can. And I will see you guys next week as we continue to train for Ironman Madison, Wisconsin 2022. Bye guys, take care.